Well, last week you guys were on guard when you were set upon by a group of griffins that appeared to be there to eat the livestock, your guys' horses and your pachycephalosauruses. Well, not your pachycephalosauruses, but you know what I mean. And what appeared to be an entire herd of hippogriffs. You managed to drive off the griffins, and in the morning, you discovered that the hippogriffs were being raised by some elven hippogriff herds. It's like a shepherd, but shepherds. No, those are for sheep. So,
Same thing.
Cattlemen. They're basically sheep except with wings and beaks. So.
and they eat sheep. Other than that,
They're
basic.
They're ranchers.
Yeah,
ranchers. Elves with
Yes.
with cowboy. There's free range.
the elves also informed you that you were expected.
Yes.
Boy.
By the leader of the elves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And or someone associated with the leader of the elves. They said that it was a specific person, or did they say
They said that it was a man. A man, and that is all they said.
These were the shepherds who said this to us?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They mentioned that you were expected.
were they? I don't think they said last time. Did they? They didn't say that they had been sent out to.
Nope. They were out there raising their animals.
So we're known among the common people of the elves.
And they also informed you that it was the greenkeeper of the Tree of Lights who, her and her friend were looking forward to seeing you guys.
All right, cool. We can ask somebody when we get to town where the greenkeeper is.
Okay.
The city,
Yo, man.
the Tree of Lights.
Where is that?
All right,
Okay.
let's adventure onward.
I'd like to introduce Cosmo with all my dice.
If you're going to introduce him, hold him up in front of the camera. Don't you say.
Here. Pretty good, pretty good. There we go. It's right in front of my face. That's
Oh, and like before, we have the dangerous jelly beans on the table for when people roll a one.
Roll a one. I don't wanna.
But hey, the benefit is that you could roll a 1 and still get one of the not awful tasting beans. So
This is
There's-
true. Yeah.
silver linings. All right. 6 1 half a dozen of the other or something. Like the
We coin method.
And then if one of us rolls it, we get to pick who gets to eat it.
that seems unfair actually. But
I would say
What
if you
side of the
roll a
table?
20, you get to choose somebody else to eat.
okay, that seems fair.
Oh, okay.
If you roll a 1, you eat. We'll have to mail them to Owen and Tina.
Yeah. Mail a single bean in an envelope to you.
I love jelly beans. I used to eat those all the time.
Oh, I know you don't know what a jelly bean is.
I love jelly beans.
So we all agreed to ride the hippogriffs there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I was trying to not exactly train them or domesticate them, but just
They look domesticated.
they're kind of domesticated, yes, but I'm trying to influence them to.
Well, they're all coming to you for food.
I am the giver of food. And
And they are very sharp baked, the big taloned carnivores. So when that food runs out, they're still coming to you for food.
Well,
That means we got to go quick.
unless him can turn into one.
no, I can't. I mean, I don't know that. I guess I've never tried, but
I definitely can't.
so
All right. So, in the mid-morning, the caravan seems to be assembled. There is a noticeable shortage of riding animals at this point. Many of the guards are having to double up onto the caravans themselves with you guys. And you set off down the cobblestone road towards the Tree of Light. The first day that passes is an uneventful journey. You can see past the occasional what appear to be farms, though the plants and such that are growing you do not recognize. The elves and some of their druidic friends are involved in growing all of this stuff for the tree. And you carry on. The first day, as I say, nothing much happens, and the first night passes completely uneventfully. As you go, you can feel that there is something in the air that feels almost protective. It's as though you have passed into an area where danger has been, shall we say, muted. You assume that it's the power of the elves and their extending of their borders out.
Does it seem like the blessing that Torp gives?
Yeah, would it feel like the same vibe kind of as that would feel, I guess?
I would say yes. It has a divine air, but not the kind of divine feeling that you get from the paladin's bonus, but more of a natural feeling.
So it kind of like where you can smell like, oh, this smells like perfume, but it's not the exact same one that I've smelled before. It's like, I can tell that it's perfume, but it's not the same that I've, yeah, okay.
Correct.
Interesting.
So your first day passes and you begin your second day journey towards the tree. As you continue through the grasslands towards the Tree of Lights, the cobblestone roads gradually are replaced by a smooth, almost seamless alabaster-colored stone road. The Tree of Lights grows larger and larger on the horizon until it seems to fill all of your view to the north. Slowly, the lights that seem to twinkle from the tree itself are revealed to be the lights of dozens of buildings, seemingly hanging from the bark of the tree like fungus growing on an old stump. The tree sticks straight up, thousands of feet in height, with a trunk that is hundreds of feet in diameter. The canopy of the tree occupies the last few hundred feet and spreads out to cover most of the valley in shade. Where the canopy meets the trunk, you can see what appears to be a palace of some description, a smooth white building of arches and spires that seems to almost glow. A wide zigzag of massive vines have been turned into staircases, joining the various hanging houses with the ground. Peculiarly, there are several crystal-clear waterfalls appearing to emanate from the boughs of the trees, yet there is no sign of any waterways that feed them, as if the water was coming from within the tree itself. When you reach the outskirts of the valley glade surrounding the tree, you discover an entire town built within the shade of the tree. The valley floor consists of a maze of fen and forest crisscrossed by small streams. The alabaster stone roads cross through the valley glade, interrupted regularly by bridges carved out of some white wood, where the road meets the streams. Buildings of varying designs peek out from within the patches of dense forest which dot the land between the streams and the roads. At the very outskirts of this city, you discover an inn before the first large bridge into the city.
What's the inn called?
It is called the Ghost Rock Inn.
Ooh, I like that name.
That's neat.
Yeah.
Did we establish that the caravan, or that the
caravan was going to be passing through here and then moving along afterward after a certain amount of days, or
It was initially planned to stay for one day, but after a lot of the animals were taken, they're going to spend a few more days here while they get additional animals from back in High Spring brought down to them.
understand?
What do you guys think about this inn?
I think it looks like it would have refreshments that were delightful,
I mean, I don't need an inn.
No.
but I could use a bath. We could all use a bath, probably, so we could see about if they have anything in that regard. I could be meeting my ancestors, so want to look good.
If I just want a nice bed,
Fair.
that's fine.
I'd say we should go and set ourselves up and
What's the
actually.
The architecture of the inn is very much the sort of standard medieval plaster and thatched roof. It sits across 2 floors. The ground floor has some large bay windows that are glowing from the fires within. You can hear a lot of noise and revelry from within, although it is still early in the day.
I don't know, guys. I'm sure if this inn is something's off about it.
But this seems like a rather suitable inn. I don't
What exactly is off about it?
It's
Dula?
just
It's that it's a building.
yeah.
Is it because there's inside people in there?
You don't have to sleep inside the building. You can sleep outside if you want. That seems to be by the general vibe I'm getting from the town so far.
Maybe avoid sleeping under windows.
Yes.
All right. Well,
It might be a barn.
let's just go in and see what it looks like, I guess.
Okay.
I'm famished. I'd like to get something to eat.
that is a good idea.
Yes.
Aileron's gonna sashay towards the door very excitedly.
All right. The rest of the caravan parks itself just on the outskirts where there's spare space, and they also make their way towards the inn. You sashay to the door,
Sashay away.
and you open the door into a very lively public room.
Nice.
Directly across from the door, there is a large bar with a rather large woman behind the counter. She's an Mbani woman, or at least she looks a little bit lighter, so possibly a half Mbani. And shall we say she is voluptuous, and this probably helps her with the rowdier of the customers. Looking around the room, you can see a few groups of people who are sort of occupying some of the tables. In here, you notice a lot of elves. This seems to mainly cater to the non-elvish people, travelers, visiting,
Tourists.
yes, tourists, popping by to take a carving of the tree or do a quick painting of the tree. Sitting around, there's multiple tables, circular tables dotting through the public room, and there is a set of stairs leading up to a second floor, which is separated by a balcony, atop which you can also see a few women of the evening setting themselves up and plying their trade.
Business has got to be good for them. A tourist bar inn? Absolutely.
This is different from the one we stayed in last time.
Yes. This is a little bit more.
I'll get us a tape.
As we walk this
one have holes?
No, I don't think Mark described any coals in this one.
I mean, there are pillars to hold the building up, but she would need to be very, very strong or have bow-legged legs in order to make use of these rather large pillars.
Hey, pour in the store. That's what I'm saying. As we walked into the inn, I went from being a female elf to basically the male version of what I looked like. Basically the same features, just masculine.
A masculine outfit.
Just quick transition.
Yeah, just a quick.
Are you like behind us or in front of us when you do this? Like, do we see you do this?
Oh, he goes. At this point, you guys would probably be used to it a little bit to some degree. But I there's like a bit of a widow's peak now, so it's like obvious. I've gone from like an obvious femme presenting elf to a more masculine.
You change the age.
About the same age, maybe a little bit older.
Although elves do tend to be fairly timeless. in
Yeah.
their age. Their sort of 30s seem to stick with them until they die.
Do you ever have a particular like marking on yourself that's just like despite
know it's you.
yeah, despite all your
Where'd you go?
changes, it's like do you have like a streak of white hair or something like that? No, you just nothing.
Sular will never get used to it.
That's okay.
Do you have any defining features that we would always be able to tell who you are when you change?
The whole idea is that I'm not supposed to be remarkable, and that I don't have a thing where people can be like, "Oh, yes, look for the person with the scar on their eye," because I've been hiding. I've been trying to stay on the radar as much as I possibly can. I am whatever. Anyways, no, you would just probably know by my behavior and by the fact that I am still in your direct vicinity. I'm walking right next to you guys. You'd know that, like,
I take a
same
good
clothes, I guess.
I take a good sniff of him. Does he smell different?
That is something I'm probably gonna have to look up. To be honest.
It doesn't say anything specifically about like you smell the same always, no matter what. But I would say that because I can't adopt the racial capabilities of another race, I don't get the claws of a tabaxi. So when I was a tabaxi, that like first transformation I didn't have the claws. I don't get to do the feline agility. So I would say that anything that is like intrinsic to that body's form, which I would say probably would come with like an odor or a must or something like that, I'd probably smell the same that I did before. I just look.
So you would have the same smell.
Yeah, I'd smell probably the same. Yeah. So
So I would say people with good sniffers could sniff you out.
there is also the fact that I'm wearing the exact same clothes still. I can't transform my clothes.
There's that too.
Dular just kind of like just leans over top of you and just goes.
Still mean. Don't worry.
Okay.
Do you have a particularly strong notice?
No, I just thought it was a good idea.
Just wanted to see if you needed a bath for.
Well, I do.
Established. Yeah.
I look for an empty table.
All right. There are at this time of day several empty tables. There are a few groups of people, you're guessing travelers and that, set up around the room. Mainly mixed races. There's a lot of Mbani people in here, humans. There are quite a few tabaxi here and there. And at a table, you can see a dwarf sitting with a half orc and a halfling enjoying some drinks. And you find a table. There are several that you can choose from. Whereabouts are you hoping to sit? Are you looking for the corner? I was going to say.
Creepy
All right.
corner. Always the creepy corner.
What
Pardon me?
Do we notice any crimson capes?
Nope. You completely without. Well, I mean, the Mbani do tend to wear a dark red outfit, much like the
Vermilion.
Yeah.
not like the vermilion. No, these are just sort of traditional Mbani robes.
Yes.
But Dular, you do find a table, and you've made yourself at home.
Nice.
Do you guys think that this waitress is gonna come up to us or at the bar?
Do we see waitresses?
Nope. All you can see is the well-endowed woman behind the bar, and she seems to be passing out both food and drink.
From the bar.
I'm going to head up to the bar.
Yeah.
All right.
As you approach the bar, she turns to you and says, "I'll be with you momentarily. I'm just dealing with these other customers, and I shall be right back." And she sort of waddles off to provide drinks and food to another group before returning to you moments later. "Well, hello there. My name is Dawn, and this is the Ghost Rock Inn. What can I do for you fine people?
Did drinks and a meal to start, and perhaps rooms are available.
We do have rooms. We're fairly filled up at the moment, but we've got 2 good group rooms that you could use. Each will seat about 4 people.
All right. Say 2 rooms.
I suppose so. Well, I assume that Dula is going to sleep outside in some capacity, so he can. That's one of us that we don't have to consider. We could try and squeeze into one room. That's only 5 of us.
Yeah. One room would save us some gold.
I'm sure that Aelrin doesn't mind sleeping on this one.
No, I do.
Party takes up so much space.
That's a good point. Torkel is diminutive in stature. You could probably squeeze in with one of us.
Yeah.
I don't know about any of you, but I'd prefer to have an actual bed to sleep on. As we've been sleeping on the ground.
And I might need to do some practice of magical intent that would disturb others. So I would kind of perhaps like to limit to maybe half our party at my room.
I would actually prefer to have a bed to myself.
Okay.
The frugal side of me for a moment was maybe it was a bed. No, I'd rather sleep on my own room.
Alrighty.
How much for the 2 rooms?
For the 2 rooms, each room will be 2 silvers a night.
That's not bad at all.
Would you like us to pay in advance? We might be here for 3, possibly 4 days.
Well, if you're not entirely sure how long you're going to be here, it would be best if you settled up at the end when you're heading out.
Might be generous of you.
Thank you.
As for food and drink, we've got ale, we've got wine, and we've got mead. At this time of day, I'm afraid we've only got cold foods, but I can do you a nice platter of meats, cheeses, and breads, and possibly even some of the pickles that they make here, which are so lovely.
I would very much like the meal with a glass of wine, please.
All right. Well, the meal will be 4 coppers apiece, and drinks are 1 copper each. You can settle on again at the end of your stay.
Yeah.
So we just place tab for all of our meals and then we pay at the end?
Yes, indeed.
I like this.
Johnny, darling.
I
Should I
hand
have
her
something
a gold piece and say, let's put this towards what we're spending this year.
Sorry, I want Tina to repeat that because it was cute.
It was really cute.
Dawn, darling, would you by chance have any warm milk?
Well, we can certainly go outside and get you some.
Fresh from the oven.
Ever be so kind.
Lovely.
Well, certainly. So she provides you with your drinks of choice, and she sends someone out into the back to fetch a pail of milk. She returns with and provides a small bowl of a curious smelling milk. You do notice on your way in that you did not see much in the way of cows, sheep, or goats.
It's hypocrites. I was going to say, probably.
Milk is milk.
Well, now
An optimistic way of putting it.
that is an awfully optimistic way of putting
When in the tree of light.
it. Any port in a storm,
Yeah.
No risk, no reward. Truly.
I suppose. I mean, they wouldn't feed it to you if it wasn't.
Take the glass and take a sip and
Can you make a Constitution saving throw? What joking? Joking. All of you have been provided your drinks, and she says she'll bring them food over to your table as soon as it's ready.
Did you guys pay for Dular or does Dular not get anything?
I paid a gold.
She said that we can settle up at the end.
I paid a gold piece ahead anyway, so anything out of the cost of that. So, or I'll get Dular on that ale and bring it over.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. You guys settle yourselves around a large circular table in the furthest, darkest corner of the common room, which seems to be Dular's preference.
Yeah. So, who should we ask about where to find? Who are we looking for? The green
What
keeper?
are we doing?
Greenkeeper? Well, there's these people that apparently are expecting us.
Okay.
No one's officially summoned us, though.
Okay.
So, these hippogriff herders
Okay.
mentioned that this was just unknown public knowledge, I guess.
If they know, then everyone in this town might know.
Possibly, but no one said anything since we've came to town.
We are unshackled at this time.
So we're expected, but we haven't actually officially been told.
Unless someone sent them out to speak to the caravan to tell us, and they were mere paid messengers.
They didn't. I think you'd established that earlier today.
Established that Uzziah was talking to them.
Okay.
But no, nothing. I haven't established that they were specifically sent to speak to you.
So we haven't officially been summoned to see this authority. As of yet, we are free agents. We may do as we please until otherwise requested.
We're going to be here for a bit of time.
A few days at least, yeah.
Our pockets are a bit lighter.
I don't know that I would say light. I feel like I'm okay currently.
I would say well.
I could be worse.
I guess you spent some time on the magical stuff back in the...
Yes, if I wanted to copy out new spells, for instance, I wouldn't have enough money to do so, or even to feed my horse.
Oh, well,
But you're checking out the gold pieces like there's no tomorrow to the barmaid.
Well, she's voluptuous, you said.
that's true. And also, you know the quality of it. You know the character of a man by how they treat, or a person, I guess, by how they treat, like
The staff.
the staff. So it's a testament to your goodwill.
Yes. So if there is any odd jobs, I'd prefer to do one of those on our way, but
It has to have like a magic shop or something that you could help at. I don't know what they do at magic shops.
we already had that that arrangement for finding magical items, but that's for a wizard in High Springs, or is he somewhere else? I'm trying to remember now.
In the Redeem, possibly? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
It's the one we sold the magical parts to.
You were given a list of items that you could, or components that you could potentially find.
Yes, but that's a lot in the wilderness and not necessarily in a town setting.
Yeah, not a place where we seem to be in this like bubble of safe.
Yes.
As you guys are debating, Dawn sort of saunters over to you with a large platter of food and places it down and hands out wooden plates to each of you guys.
I get her attention.
Oh, lovely.
And the rustic nature of the wooden dish.
We're searching for the Greenkeeper. Have you heard of such a...
The Greenkeeper.
Have you heard of the king before? I love that.
The Greenkeeper is the royalty of the Tree of Lights, and she's a lovely woman. I've only had the chance to meet her on one occasion, but she seems to know every person that enters into her realm. She's got an almost magical memory for faces. So what do you plan to be doing whilst you're in town, then?
Well, we'd heard that we were expected by her and a companion of hers. I didn't catch his name.
Oh, well, also, not only that we just heard, but like we're working for a caravan right now as guards. Is usually.
That would be Oziah's caravan that just arrived?
Yeah.
And so they might need to do something in the short time we're here.
We do have a few days to spend, so
Yeah, if anybody needs...
went dither about.
Well, there is a jobs board outside the inn by the main bridge into town. There may be something on there that would tickle your fancy. Otherwise, there's a lot to see and do in the town itself.
What are some things that you could recommend that somebody visiting should see?
Well, all of the glades are absolutely beautiful.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds lovely.
A glade.
Yes.
A glade is a small area of trees in a enclosed space, and it's a lovely little walk to take whilst you're in town. There is also the main square at the base of the tree. It's the Fountain Square, where you'll find several shops and a rather interesting library.
Oh. Is there any temples to any deities like Killenborg, for instance?
Not in this town. Most of them here are of the Druidic faith.
Do they worship? Do the druids worship a god? How does that work?
Some do, but mostly nature.
Is worship the concept of nature?
There are nature spirits, and
Okay, I got a 22 on religion. So
your understanding of the Druid culture is that they tend to worship the nature spirits of this land are a little more interactive, shall we say, than the divine gods. And most of the druids and the rangers in the area tend to follow these nature spirits, and they gain their abilities from them.
Yes. What else?
Would you by chance know of any place where someone could replenish their medical supplies, herbs, spices, bandages, that type of thing?
Well, there is the Furbolg's Flowers, which is just across the first bridge, and you'll make a turn to the left off the main road, and you should find it directly beside the road across from the stream. It's the building with the heady odor camouflage.
That actually reminds me. I keep saying stream.
Over the bridge.
Such. Yeah,
By the
stream. The
stream.
first bridge, I think she said. The streams and the water that's coming from but it's coming from on top of where does the water come from? Do you know?
That I do not. I can't pretend to say I understand everything to do with this place, but it's a beautiful and powerful magical area. So for all we know, it comes straight from the magical netherworld.
Have you lived here all your life?
Oh no, I've only been here for better part of 2 seasons.
Oh, okay. Perfection, I guess. But that ends any further questions.
We have food in our meals? Yes. Okay, sweet.
Thank you very much for the food. It's much appreciated.
Not a problem. If you got any other needs, just come and see me. And she waddles off back to the bar.
I'm most interested to see what's on the jobs board and perhaps visit the library. Like, that's one way to spend one day, but we have another 2 days in town until we can
What time of day is it?
leave on.
It's just on midday.
Okay. Cool. I mean, I'll follow any of y'all. I think we should speak to the greenkeeper lady too. Like, probably promptly.
I would think that if she's expecting us, she'll find us. Would she not?
I am surprised that we haven't been escorted there already. That they if they were expecting us within a certain frame of time, I imagine, why did they not have guardsmen or someone waiting to herald us to this person to see them if they are expecting us?
I think they must have expected us to use the hippogriffs.
Perhaps
They're just too slow.
I wish, Talk. Truly.
perhaps the city is a lot more free than what you would think of a city to be like. High Spring was
Guards?
very enforcing. That's the
Imperial.
feeling I got. This city has a different feeling to it.
Lots more communal.
It's peaceful here.
I would say let's take it easy for today, since we've just arrived. Let's feed ourselves, get ourselves settled, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of that. I would rather just nap this entire time. Not even a nap, I suppose. Just sleep. Knock me out. Put me into a coma. I'll wake up when
Why don't we conduct some of our own individual business today, have a rest in the evening, and then seek out this keeper the next morning?
That sounds like a good play.
That sounds
Sure. Okay.
So I will gather some intelligence on these possible jobs we might have, and then I will you'll be able to find me at the library, and then I will be back here this evening for a final meal.
And Puddles, you say you were you were going to get some supplies.
I would like to head over to the Furbolg's flowers to replenish some of my herbal medicines.
Do you mind if I join you?
Of course, come along. For the life of me, I don't really remember the direction she showed me, so I would love an escort.
I'm in the same boat as you. I do not know where this shop is, but I'm sure we can find it.
I can come along and pretend I know where we're going.
Well, I'm sure she said you could smell it.
So
It
let's
smells
keep-
of stores, so perhaps we can sort of our noses.
Sounds good to me. All right. How about you and the older guys?
Tark, what do you want to do?
I think we should go check out some of these glades. They sound lovely.
Okay.
I didn't know that's what a blade was. I thought it was just called like a smaller chunk of forest. I thought it was just, I didn't know it had a name.
I was born in an Everglade.
Well, yeah.
Was a name. Everglade.
That's love.
Mm.
Puddles. I love it. It's
I was born in a giant puddle.
just like shot out into a puddle, squealing.
Essentially, yes.
So I will try to see if I can research anything further. My research, the last place, was not as helpful with our quest with regards your tooth and your magical abilities, but I can always see if I can do some further research.
Just turns out that I'm not very intelligent, so I don't think I can help you do any research.
It's all right. You can talk to people, I guess. You're pretty good at that.
I'm pretty good. I'm a
Yeah.
good old talker.
Good old talker.
But I don't know. I kind of wanted to check out those glades too, so I think Torque and I can head that way. If Torque would like some company.
Sure, it sounds like fun.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to look at those blades that I don't. I'll go with you to the shop, to this apothecary, whatever the place was called. I forget.
Cool. Dular just like wolfs down his meal, like just in one chug, just drinks his whole beer.
Torque, do you want to have like maybe a couple drinks before we go to the place? Maybe get like a to-go canteen before we get to the place.
Beer.
Yeah,
Have, like, lids with straws.
a road meat.
Yeah, that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
That's what wineskins are for.
And they,
Oh,
so we all got wineskins, baby.
You can get a skin of wine.
nice.
Refill it too.
Nice. Let's get a skin of wine and some bread and cheese to go.
Oh, like Jesus, well, I missed her.
Puddles is gonna see that Dular is shoving his food in his face. She's like, "All right, well, I'll just have to take it to go then."
All right. So, your plan is?
So, Duala and myself, Puddles, are going to this apothecary place that smells very strong. And it sounds like Pete, you're going to
I'm going to gather some of the materials on the jobs board.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to roll Arcana and History for either magical spells or any abilities or anything to do with our quest-related stuff. Hit the library until dinner time and then come back.
And Torque and I are going to get shittered and wander around.
just getting day drunk and wander around in the woods.
Cheese and meats in my snack pouch.
Yeah.
Or safety. It's all good. Puddles. We're all good. We got a bubble of safety. We're all good. We can get drunk as we want.
It's been a hectic couple days.
Yeah.
I've been confused.
We're only safe here.
We're safe. And I don't know. I don't use many components. I don't have to shop really for anything. Like everybody else provides everything I need. So
I do most of the things that I need.
yeah.
You do still
Look at components. Just let it all.
But nothing takes components. I got a pouch, but no components. We could do that.
Okay. This cool. It's crazy.
I don't.
I mean, I know that one of your spells doesn't require it.
No, there's just the one. There's the one that I use.
You haven't. Yeah. Anyways.
And yeah.
it would always be a good idea, and this is a recommendation to everybody, to read your spells and your abilities. Go back when you get a chance, review them, and see if you need, for instance, components for a specific spell that you were later going to rely on, only to discover that, oops,
Yeah.
um,
Whoops. I need a thing.
What is the V and S?
V is verbal. S is somatic, so like
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
M is material.
M is material.
So that's, and then generally with material components, it'll say
Value of something that's
Yeah.
used up.
Yeah, nothing.
Or something's reusable. Like I've got more than one pearl now that I can do identification with.
Some I don't even have to do the somatic. I just have to verbal. Oh,
What?
there's one thing that I need a pinch of soot and salt.
No, but stuff like that
Pretty
get a
fine.
component. The component pouch generally covers anything that doesn't have a monetary value to it. So
Yeah.
some will
Spellcasting
say
is
that you need a
substantial, yeah.
pearl of 100 gold piece value in
Yeah.
order to cast a spell.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So like a spellcasting focus for like paladins or clerics or what have you, or like a book for wizard, like those kind of things will substitute in for where it says you need a ribbon of silk or whatever. If it says like you need it, it needs to be worth a certain amount. So like for instance, he needs to have a pearl worth 100 gold.
I have 2 of them now.
Do you need to him? Because he doesn't consume it.
I didn't know that time.
Wow, you got 2 pearls. That's totally fine.
You're
It's a
rich and
first level
poor.
spell. Most first level spells don't consume.
Yeah.
I just need to have it to kind of like,
Give a backup in case you lose one.
Backup money.
Do you need?
or for an apprentice.
Do you need any components, Torque?
Nope. I do want to say though that I do have my my navigator's pouch,
Oh,
and I've got my cartographer's tools and my scrolls. And as we're going along, I know the main roads are probably all drawn out, but I'm going to do all the weird back roads that we've been taking. Back roads map book.
Ooh.
I do have Tinker's tools too.
That's a so useful one's time.
So if we need to have something tinkered with, apparently I'm have proficiency in that. I forgot I'd given myself that, but
Didn't give myself any skills.
you got some.
I just-
You're probably good at persuading and stuff.
I am, yeah.
I'm proficient in my herbalism and IV stuff, so I don't matter that.
It's all right. You're kind of like our healer.
And I'm kind of like your bard.
That's true.
I just have chests and horses.
I have this flute that I know how to play.
Oh, she could also play the pan flute.
Ah,
Mm,
we can make a.
we could play together.
Yes.
And
It's actually quite pretty, pan flute.
they are. They're actually pretty lovely.
It's lovely. It's the little instrument that Peter Pan has.
Yeah.
Is everyone going to eat that cheese?
Yes, I'm obviously going to eat the cheese. It's right in front of me. But you can't you can't inhale all of your food and then try and pick it myself. No. I paid for this. I'm going to have this.
Just a question for you. If I do find a good job for us, do you want something that's in town or something that's a short excursion?
In the wilds, preferably.
Of course, you can say that. I mean, I think the further out into the wilds we go, if you want to do something, I'm not going to yuck your yum or whatever. If you want to do that, go for it. I just think that the further out of the town we get, that is the further we have to come back to meet up with us.
I kind of think the same. It's either has to be something within, within one half the day kind of thing, or something that's like a fetch and carry.
I think if it depends on if you find something that requires more manpower, then I will be available. But otherwise, I plan on resting or relaxing.
I'd be happy with whatever you choose.
Yeah, dirt's me.
Go get your rents.
Thirsty. So Aileron's going to saunter over to Dawn and request. Torque, did you want mead?
Oh, I was the meat.
Okay. And I'm going to get us a couple meads.
All right.
Needs to go.
Oh, and the wine skins to go. Meads to go? Do you have to go mead?
I can fill a wine skin for you.
Okay.
Such a
Perfect.
this is my first time going out to drink sort of question.
Can I get all smart?
Yeah.
All right. She fills a few wines. Before she does, she says, "Now, what mead would you like? We have the honeysuckle, and we've got the dragon's breath."
One of each.
Definitely the dragon's breath.
How did I know? That's what I wanted, the honeysuckle, and I just knew Torque would want it.
Kind of like honey-related meats.
Well, it's all honey.
Well, yeah, but like if it has honey in the name, it just makes it taste better.
She fills one wineskin with a sweet smelling, somewhat alcohol-y smelling, but very sort of honeyish mead, which she hands to you.
Okay.
And she goes to a small lockbox, unlocks it, opens up things, puts on some gloves, reaches inside and pulls out a bottle ornately carved like a dragon. Oh, she opens the port, pointing it away from her.
Yeah.
You see a small wisp of smoke come up. She pours it into the wineskin, and suddenly she notices some of the wineskin is burning. So she puts it down and fetches a bottle, and she fills a bottle for you and passes a very thick red-colored mead to you in a bottle.
So I'm going to put the safe mead under my arms and then away from myself, return to Torque and pass him.
Is there any role to find out if I've heard of this drink before?
You can make a... Ooh, it'll either be a history or an arcana.
Try and...
I'd like to help with that, actually.
I'll do it.
I'd like to see if I had maybe heard of this.
Ooh, a 22.
That's not how help works. I didn't do all. Never mind. You got a 22. That's good.
Torque, I don't think you should drink this quickly.
I think you should drink it all as quickly as you
Wait.
possibly can.
Yep.
Good man.
You've heard tales of this generally from your military friends who would come back bragging about having had a small glass of it and surviving. But you know that it is made from a variety of herbals as well as a honey. And it is known. It has a reputation. We'll say.
Torkel, have you tried this before?
Oh, that's why I wanted to try it.
I had friends back in the day. Sometimes they would be in the tent until the next day. Afterwards, they best be cautious.
Well, two points.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's safe here. It's probably fine.
Yeah, well, we do have 3 days of town.
That's true. That's so much time for a cup.
All right. Go. So, what do you guys wish to do?
I'm patiently waiting for Puddles and him to finish their meals.
I have been slowing down in how fast I am eating my cheese. I'm just finishing it like bit by bit.
Just looking straight into
Yeah.
Dular's face.
Dular's like salivating. And,
You had yours. This is why we let it say that.
Since they're taking their time, I'm going to go to the job post board and come immediately back with a bit of information and what I might have found.
All right. Outside the inn, there is a rather large, white. You think it's possibly white ash, bridge leading in. On either side, there is a small guard hut occupied by some elves in a sort of a leaf-shaped scale mail, their entire body, and they appear to be carrying spears, more like javelin style. You can see that they've got one that they hold and a couple more in a bag behind them, or what do we call a javelin holder? Go with bags. And the jobs board sits to one side. And you can see a variety of postings on it.
Okay. Anything that's in town?
You can, for the most part, see there's a lot of like farming assistance jobs and such. There are two postings that perhaps strike your fancy.
Okay, I will jot those down in my logbook and come back to them. And I'll look for maybe one brief incursion one and then further one.
All right. Well, one of them is asking for assistance for a mystery on a chicken farm not far from the inn.
Chicken mysteries.
And the other one, is simply asking for adventurers in heading towards the desolate sands who are interested in earning decent money. Inquire within the inn in the evening.
That chicken mystery sounds more delicious.
That might be fun. I'm partial to poultry.
Want to buy a bunch of chickens.
Why is it always with the bloody birds?
Well, if we have a whole bunch in string, we don't have to worry about rations when we go out on an adventure.
You keep them alive the whole time?
Yeah, you just lead them along.
So you just have it all on like a daisy-chained leash.
Yeah, you can tie a few together, have live bolas, use them as weapons.
What's the distance?
I'm gonna tell on to this.
Dular, are you familiar with the distant sands?
Multi-purpose birds.
The deserts to the east.
That's not so comfortable.
Is that the desolate sands?
Desolate.
I've grown up here my entire life. I only know the plains of Aramore, but if you speak about the desert to the east, I just know it from just word of mouth.
I will ask Thomas. He did make a history check.
I get a jelly bean.
Our first one.
Dang. What is it?
Woohoo!
Spicy?
What is it?
Space one.
You got a spicy one.
I will, with that,
That's why I was asking you.
at the request of another one of your adventuring party, we shall take a brief break at this point.
Look at him though. He's dying.
Yeah. I need water.
We'll knock your socks off.
Oh, yeah. No, you can see him. He's got a little rest.
All right, we are now recording again. We are back from our break.
And I have recovered from my jelly bean.
And
That was good. I wish we would have kept on filming.
Yeah.
well, next time somebody rolls a one,
It's their turn.
we shall
Let's
let
try
it
it again.
roll so that everyone can see. If it's a sour milk one, they can sit there and look like they're vomiting.
You got a spicy one?
Yeah. Habanero. Jesus.
Dang.
You said that was like the third
That's
spiciest
the
one?
third spiciest one.
Oh boy.
Huh.
There's more than one
Yeah.
kind of spicy.
That is so.
There's ghost pepper and Carolina Reaper as
Yeah.
well, is it?
Those are like the next levels of spice.
Secretly glad that I don't have to eat it.
Well, if you took
Choose your victim.
one, would that help balance it out?
Maybe.
I just can't wait to get reliable talent so I don't roll a 1 ever.
I think you should. I think that both of you should have one side of the table, and then me and we roll it out.
And I think as a general rule that reliable talent does not apply in the rolling of ones for
I'd like to
jelly bean consumption purposes.
I'd like to veto that actually.
What do you mean by reliable talent?
So there's a class ability that rogues get later on where if you roll below a 10 or something, then it is just a 10. That's the minimum you can roll.
Interesting.
On certain
Cheating.
things.
On certain things, not on every
Plus,
possible
I can
thing.
only roll ones on damage dice too, but still.
Okay, so Pete, you have jotted down the details of the chicken mystery, and
The other evening,
yes, you've got the details of adventurers wanting to inquire within. Adventurers for the desolate sands.
this what sounds.
Inquire within. Okay, so who go right ahead.
Us 3 going to the apothecary.
I was going to say, possibly I should have chosen the one who did not
Maybe
have
the
a
person
mouthful of
who's
food. Okay. And yes, the two of you are off to observe some glens.
Bird watch.
I just yell back at them to go to the apothecary. If you find some string, can you please pick some up?
Will do.
Not good enough.
Noted.
All right. So the three of you pass across the bridge and follow the road. The first building you come to is a large, what sounds like a blacksmith shop. You can hear banging away inside, and a big sign on the door that says, "He who smelt it." And
God damn it. I forgot. You made me remember.
further down, another 5 or 6 hundred feet, you come across a road that turns to the side. You can get a waft of a beautiful exotic smell coming across, and you see a sign pointing towards the Furbolg's Flowers. Torkel and Ailerin, you guys head towards the bridge, and as you do, one of the guards steps out and stands before the gnome, saying, "You are Torkel, son of Torkel?"
Yeah. Who might you be?
"I am the guard of the gate, and I have been I've been asked to inform you that Ashala, Keeper of the Green, will be sending for you and your friends this evening. There is a visitor who wishes to speak with you."
Yes, I believe everybody just split up. I think you're all going to go have some baths.
You guys are not going to see him ever again.
Be somewhat presentable.
Oh, well, expect the call shortly after nightfall.
Okay.
They will meet you at the Ghost Rock Inn.
Well,
Yes, that's what we're saying.
would we have time to go to the glades and then come back before nightfall, or?
Oh yes,
Okay.
nightfall is probably what we would call around 9
Okay.
o'clock 9, and it's just gone midday.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. The guards step out of the way, and they allow the two of you to
Okay.
across the bridge. Everywhere you look, you see small glades across various bridges, down various streets. You may choose whichever direction you wish to go in.
So you have tons of time to walk this off.
Very good. We and Ailerin also takes a big swig and she claps Torque on the shoulder and says, I like you.
You probably have to reach way down.
Yeah.
All right, Torgo's just gonna take a big old swig of this fire or dragon breath.
Okay, I'm going to get you to make a Constitution saving throw. That's not a joke.
Don't get a 1.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't get a 1. Got 13 altogether.
13. How to describe it? It has initially an extremely sweet and floral almost taste, a bit like Turkish delight, that sort of rose watery flavor, and intense sweetness. About 20 or 30 seconds after consuming it, you begin to feel odd. Your legs feel a little weak, and your stomach has this overwhelming feel of warmth flooding over your body.
This is delicious.
Should I try a sip?
Absolutely.
It's quite potent.
I mean, I am an adult now.
Yeah.
Said every 19-year-old. Adult, I can handle it.
I can handle it. It's fine.
Mix it with some tang.
Okay, so Ailerin is going to take a little. Strike that. Ailerin is going to take way more of a sip than she ought to.
Okay, bear with me 1 second while I just look for what vulnerabilities to possibly have. Okay. Orange can't be put to sleep by magic. Okay, doesn't affect it. So, make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
You guys aren't going to make it to this meeting.
They'll be drugged in a park. They're just gonna get naked. They're gonna be like face down, like sleeping.
12.
Don't worry. 12.
12.
Much like Torkel, the drink is very sweet and strong on your taste buds, and you begin to feel intense warmth running through your body. You, for some reason, feel the base of your spine twitching. For unknown reasons, your left ear is beginning to sound like you are underwater.
Oh.
All right. So,
You're both like, cheers, that was good.
I think I'll stay to my needs.
I mean, we're stuck the worst guards in where we are.
That's true. That is true. Our friends will find us.
I'm sure there's a cleric here somewhere that can heal you.
You know, now that we're walking towards this, I don't think I would look for either of them if they got drunk and fell asleep in a park. I don't think I would do it. I don't think I'd bother.
Well, why not?
I don't know. Something just kind of jumped out to me. I don't care.
Even after all the time we spent together, you still wouldn't?
Well, I mean, if they get drunk and they fall asleep in a park, it's kind of their own fault, isn't it?
They're still like on that.
She is like a baby. And he is also like a baby, but more so in like size instead of like attitude. Yeah, never mind. I scratch. I take it back. They would die. I would go by them.
How nice of you.
Well,
Love your optimism.
I am nothing if not benevolent, so.
Pete.
I'm going to the library and I'm going to do some research and I'm going to look for magic and history on things we're encountering and potentially some magical spells I might learn if I can find some new things.
Corey, you head towards the tree down the main sort of, shall we call it, the Broadway, main street leading down. You pass a variety of shops and such on the way, selling everything from food and household goods to gems and jewelry and fine cloths and outfits. The The road runs down about a mile before you come to a large square at the foot of the tree with a very, very large fountain with a deer's head at the top, spitting water out. But at the base of the fountain, there are also what I call spouts that are producing the majority of the water. And to the south part of the square, you see a very, very large building standing about 6 floors, marked with the word Maktaba Library. Next to that, within the square, you see a shop with a set of runes around the door. So, arcane runes, and a sign sticking out saying the Serene Grimoire. And around the rest of it, there are a variety of other shops and nothing that immediately takes your fancy.
I'm going to take a quick look at the Serene Grimoire before I head to the library.
All right. You open the door to the Serene Grimoire, and you are met with a gigantic building within. Probably 20 or 30 floors of random direction. The ceiling appears to be just the night sky, as if the ceiling is not even there. It's like looking up into the sky. You can see the occasional shooting star pass by. And behind one counter is a rather attractive young elf. Well, let's say elf, or young, should be, say it's like 1,000 years old. But she is with got a light chocolate colored hair, and an almost childlike face. She is wearing light red robes with a circlet and on her head set with a red star-shaped gem.
Oh,
Her eyes are a curious mix of green and blue, almost like turquoise, look, as if it was a drop of crystal water. Make a wisdom saving throw.
17.
17. You find her incredibly beautiful, but you are not sort of bowled over by the aura of attractiveness that emanates from. Now, while Pete arrives in the shop, the Pedals, Dular, and him.
Yes.
You guys break from the main street and head across a small bridge. Directly across from it, you see a building about 1 floor high, surrounded in every place by boxes and flower beds and gardens and stuff. There is a strong but somewhat tropical smell coming from it. It's as though you've mixed up a potpourri of different odors. Some you're familiar with, some are entirely foreign to you. And the door to this shop is rather large for most places. It's about a 10-foot tall wooden door.
I think this is the place.
And the stings, the eyes. It's so strong.
Why? Let's go in.
Okay. You open the door, and behind a big garden box, you see a rather short, furball woman, about 7 foot tall. She is a blue-gray skin, very elegant, just a hint of fuzz on her body. She's got a flock of purple hair, or I should say a shock of purple hair running down the side, and she's got very prominent downturned doe ears, like a deer.
Adorable.
And at this point, we shall turn back to Torque and Ailerin.
I was going to drink that.
That might
Be cautious which of those mugs you grab.
Yeah, I'm going to set this right.
Yep. Smart. Looks good.
You guys, at this point, are beginning to feel incredibly jolly, and you begin to notice, Ailerin, that Torkel's face occasionally seems to shift and change slightly. Torkel, every so often you seem to get this feeling that Ailerin appears to be 20 feet tall. And but moments later,
Mushroom sense or something.
I mean, she is all.
you wish it was mushrooms. Every so often you do see a little fairy float around your head. Excellent. You guys,
I wonder what all those lame asses are doing.
They're just being lame and dumb. I bet you Pete's researching.
You're 20 feet tall.
Wow. You got a wiggly face.
all right. So you guys make for the most interesting looking glade you can find, which at this point, most things are beginning to look very interesting to you.
This is great.
Listen. All right. Pete, you step into the serene grimoire.
Excuse me, but where are we?
The elven woman looks at you and she puts her hands to greetings. You are in the serene grimoire.
I had read the sign, but are we where we came from?
You are within the serene grimoire.
Ourselves.
What brings you here?
Curiosity. Do you deal in magical goods?
Why, that is almost all we deal in. We have some supplies for those of the arcane nature, as well as spells, complicated components that are hard to locate. And occasionally we deal with specific magical items of generally custom requests.
Okay. I'm a little light in my pocket, but I would be interested in perusing some of your goods for future reference.
Certainly.
And I would like to consult with you, a professional magic user to perhaps magic user. Are you familiar with? I described his tooth. I don't have it with me. The tooth that he had. I encountered an item that seemed to be not of this world. It seemed that I'm trying desperately to identify. Do you have any idea what it might be from, or what creature it might be associated with?
From the sounds of it, you have got a tooth.
Yes, but of what kind of creature? If I perhaps brought it by, would you be able to identify it?
I could take a look. I think you would have much more luck identifying somebody from one of the adventurers guilds and seeing if it was maybe a creature that they have come across. But I'm more than happy to take a look at it.
Cool. Are you looking for any other items or errands done in the city while I'm here? Perhaps a trade?
I'm always looking for errands to be done, but none in the city at this moment. Most of mine would take us. I have a desire to reach a colleague named Zadish in Samaris, and there is talk of a book of spells to be located in the Crimson City in the south of the Desolate Sands, but it is an incredibly dangerous journey, and very few who have attempted it have succeeded.
It's potential that I might be heading to the Desolate Sand Companions, but
Think
what else? What kind of spell books do you sell, perhaps?
we rarely sell spell books, but we do sell spells by the scroll. And for those in our unique profession, you can copy those into a spell.
Good. What kind of spells are you offering at this time?
What sort of spells are you looking for?
So Katie. Can I for smalls?
It's being a little vague.
Yeah. By design. Zadish was the magic shopkeeper from High Spring.
Yes.
Yes. Or he was that was a simulacrum of him.
Yes, I have met him. That was weird. Zadish, I've met Zadish, I believe.
Ah, so you've been to Solitude?
Yes.
Now, in that solitude.
Well,
Well, if you find yourself there again, please inform him that Alinar from the Tree of Lights would be very interested in speaking with him, and if he could reach out to me using one of our Palantir, it would be appreciated.
Yeah.
Here, let's get these from the Palantir. Like it isn't anything. I was just like,
do you by chance are familiar with a wizard named Milf?
I heard something very different.
I did, but then it clicked. I was like, I know exactly who he's talking about. The famous wizard, Melf.
I have heard of him. I carry several of his spells, but unfortunately, I've not met him myself. He died several centuries before I was born.
Yes, I'm interested in a spell I once saw in battle. My master was able to cast it, but he was very secretive, and I never learned it because it involves acid and arrows.
Melf's acid arrow?
Yes.
Yes, we do have a copy of that somewhere.
Sure. How much would that cost?
Well, let me see. And she raises her hand, and a spiral staircase seems to appear out of nowhere and zigzag up several floors to the very top. And she wanders up a cabinet and comes down with scroll. And she looks over it and says, "That will be 400 gold pieces."
Okay, I will endeavor to come back.
Which is that?
Certainly.
The shopkeeper was named Elia?
Eleanor.
Yeah, so not even close to that place.
Is your shop only located here, or is it located in other places?
They do not follow. The shop exists in the Plaza of the Fountain in front of the Tree of Lights. Although, as you probably figured, the shop is somewhat more than the building it inhabits.
Yes.
So, for those of you entering the Furbolg's Flowers,
Hi.
Yes. take a look around and see, as I say, there's plants growing seemingly everywhere. And along one wall, you can see potions galore.
Oh, cool.
Bottles of various shapes, colors, and some of them with activity within them, and others that are just a plain color. Some bubble for no particular reason that you can tell. I mean, others glow, and some look as though they're pure midnight, dark beyond anything you could possibly imagine. The Furbolg woman turns to you and is quite shocked initially to see Dular. Oh, well, greetings and welcome to the Furbolg's Flowers. How may I help you?
Hello. We've just come here from our travels, and I'm just looking to replenish some of my herbs and medical supplies.
Well, I've made a trip recently to Mimir and have brought back a variety of the best herbs and flowers of healing sort that I could find. What sort of things are you looking for?
Mostly healing potion ingredients, and if you have them, anything related to maybe an antitoxin.
I'm sure I can come up with something for you. Healing potion ingredients. Let's see.
Oh, and perhaps some string.
This is it's not a request I've ever had before, but allow me to take a look and see what I can find.
That'd be cool, thank you.
I kind of hope that this place doesn't have any string at all. Just, it'd be funny.
So she nips off into the back and pulls out a book, flipping through it, and she starts pulling down various components, wandering around, clipping things off of bushes and assembling a decent-sized basket of components, some dry, some fresh, some liquid, some solids, and all the kind she's taken with and fascinated by.
Oh, she's looking at me?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
She's definitely looking at you.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a neat feeling.
She after providing a pile of components to Puddles to peruse, she sort of wanders over to you and giving you a little looks like so.
Snowman is like,
Greeting? Tell me where do you come from?
where are you staying?
yes. Your name is
My name is Zaphias.
Zavias. Yes. This is quite the coincidence. You and I have a mutual friend.
You don't say. Who might that be?
Okron Dewsinger is my childhood friend from before our tribe was disappeared.
At the sound of, or at the recognition, the sound of the name comes out, you notice a twinkle in her eye. Her ears sort of down a little bit further, and she goes a little bit, I would say pink, but she's fuzzy and has a little bit of hair. So, but she does the best to blush. You notice her nose turn a little bit redder.
Yes, I
My darling Okra.
I bumped into him before coming here, and he said to stop by your shop and pay you a visit. It's an honor to meet you. I believe you must be Okron's first girlfriend.
His first.
Yes. Oh,
He
I just
had mentioned that he had had many girlfriends.
This is fun. He's a player.
Yeah, I mean, not serious relationships, but like definitely like
Not as serious as you, but like, obviously, like,
Yeah.
Well,
So you're right. He has had many, just not. Yes.
make a deception check.
Okrin's a fuck boy. Oh shit! That kid is fed up gonna get so much trouble.
Okay. That is a deception of 8.
Of 8.
your forte.
She she gives you kind of a skeptical eye. And
I mean, nice shop. How long have you been in this place?
she's a little befuddled at the moment, a little bit uncertain. But well, I left my tribe about 4 years ago. Had moved south. And so I found myself settled here about a year and a half into it.
Oh, that's where's your who is your tribe and where are they located?
Our tribe is in the southeast North.
Oh, that's the northern ones. Okay.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's quite the far. What made you want to come down here?
Sure. I came because of the Crimson Breath had affected our tribe. Originally, I'd gone to gather healing components. When I returned, many had passed. I was able to treat some, but my dear family had passed. Everyone from my mother, my father, and my 2 young sisters.
That's a story I know too well. I'm deeply sorry to have learned.
Well, thank you very much. I it's a pain that I've lived with, but meeting Okran gave me a joy and a happiness that I not felt in a long time.
I look around at like the flowers. I want to find like the nicest, biggest bouquet there is.
Okay. While you're doing that,
Sure.
Puddles, you have got a pile of various healing potion components in front of you. Okay. They would be 25 gold pieces for sufficient components to make a healing potion.
Okay.
And an antitoxin would be 15 gold pieces for the components for an antitoxin.
And then was there any string?
Yes, she comes out with a roll of string for you, which, if you purchase any of the other components, she will throw in for free.
Wonderful. So a total of 40 gold pieces for all the...
For components sufficient to make 1 antitoxin and 1 healing potion.
Oh, just for one.
Yep.
Okay.
Healing potions are about 50 gold pieces in most places, so it is quite a savings.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I will get,
Yes.
let's see. Maybe I'll get 2 of each, please. Can I have 2 of each, please?
Certainly. She pulls out some paper, lays it down, and begins assembling little packages of components for each of the items. That would be 80 gold pieces for sufficient components to craft 2 antitoxins and 2 healing potions.
Both.
There you go, love. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And she puts the money away. Oof, 40 gold pieces might close up early today. So, him.
I
What is Him's doing?
At this point, him, you are just about to do something when we reached 9:55
Yeah.
and time to pass on for the evening.
yeah.
Join us next week.
Join us next week to see what him purchases from the apothecary.
And
It's nothing.
and what Torkel and Ilrin get up to with their
Drunken expedition.
I actually do want to get something from he who. He who smelt it. Yeah. It's actually a serious thing that's going to get from, not a joke one.
Well,
But
perhaps we can stop there on the way back.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. We can.
So like,
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, you could do that.
Like,
If you like.
comment, and subscribe.